Seán Sherlock.
Good mahagut Kahir look Gurmila mahagut asan desh laurt on so in youth Nilma chwid gaelga rowa ach time clachta in munrock na herden at nieter on gaelga mar ordjanga friava dun stot so later doing gwil dualgus moor a gach realtus ach venini a chur fall agus tunskanov a quirinaut conanchanga a chosant agus coni orbert gohumlawn. Labour recognises the central place of the Irish language in our heritage, in our history, and as a rich resource in daily life. And the Constitution explicitly recognises Irish as the first language of the state, and it is our view that this gives certain responsibilities to all governments to vigorously support the protection and development of the language. But I want to take a slightly different tack today. I speak through the medium of English. I feel strongly that oftentimes this language is presented in a very binary fashion, typified by those who have the language, if you will, and those who don't. The last census recorded over 160 languages being spoken in this country. There are a multiplicity of nationalities now. And I believe that in this globalised society that we live in, we have to recognise the attempts by those who are seeking to encourage bilingualism and multilingualism within this island of ours. I believe strongly that it's not about one language being better than another. I think it's about using languages efficiently, and I think it's about seeking to encourage a greater awareness of the critical importance of language learning, not only in terms of increasing employment possibilities and meeting industry needs, but also its broader value in the spheres of education, the arts, and in the context of supporting social cohesion and intercultural understanding. And I believe that Irish in that context, has a significant role to play in terms of encouraging multilingualism and bilingualism. There is a group, Cathaoirleach, called One Voice for Languages. It's a group that has been established, and it focuses on the importance of all languages, if you will, including Irish, being valued in a real sense and beyond the tokenism that oftentimes inculcates debates in this House and elsewhere. And they have three very basic statements. Mara chredamid, tá teangacha, luachfor, riachtanach agus spregul. We believe that languages are essential, valuable and exciting. A willowing Kistana changa ordu egan level isorda realtus agus a chur a hul de phobal illa natira. What we want is language issues to be raised at the highest levels of government and to be brought to the consciousness of the country as a whole. And Marianamid gnivu mar glor chuchtach agus mar hlóga dóibh siúd galéir space or space lo Kistana Changa. What we will do, they will act as a rallying point and a powerful voice for all interested in language issues. And I make the point that globalisation has changed our experience of language diversity. There are now few places in the world in which multiple languages are not present in some way and in which people make use of repertoires that draw on several different languages. And as a former Minister for Research and Innovation, I have found that there is ample research evidence regarding the numerous benefits of language learning. For example, in the Irish context specifically, research has demonstrated that bilingualism, that is Irish and English language proficiency, enhances mathematics performance, and that the Irish language itself lends itself to the better understanding of mathematical concepts, for instance. And repeated calls from high-level industry leaders, employment specialists, advisory bodies and experienced linguists of the deficit in appropriate language skills and the important role the learning of other languages, and Irish is one of those, can play in the improvement of literacy levels. And an appreciation needs to be fostered at government level and amongst the wider public regarding the significant cognitive, social, developmental, cultural and linguistic enhancement that can be attained through the learning of Irish or other additional languages. So we need to improve the teaching and learning of science, mathematics and engineering, for instance. And we have research which shows that where children or students are educated through a medium of Irish, where they live in bilingual communities, if you will, that their outcomes, learning outcomes, are a lot better. And I think we should focus more on those opportunities. And I don't know if I will ever be fluent, and I think I speak for thousands of people throughout this country when I say that I don't know if I will ever be fluent, but I would love to be able to conduct my everyday business in a bilingual way, and perhaps we need to focus more on the opportunities therein. I'm glad to say that I live in an area where over the last 5 years we have seen an explosion in the number of places for in Gael Scoilna. There are 2 Gael Scoilna under construction in my own constituency, in Monaster Armuy and Monaster na Coran. That's something that we're particularly proud of. But what we want to ensure is that what students are learning at the primary level, we want to ensure that there's a continuum into post-primary level. And we want to ensure then that in communities like Mallow, Fermoy, Middleton, for instance, where we have these Gael Scoilna, that people are using the benefit of the language in their everyday transactions on the street or through interactions with government agencies or wherever. And I think we need to do more to try to encourage that. So I conclude by saying that we need to widen the debate to the point of recognising that there are over 160 languages spoken in this country. We need to ensure that we target resources in a way that ensures that more people speak the language, or at least inculcate the language in their everyday usage. And you know, that is a big challenge in of itself. I think we're all you know, wedded to the strategy, the 20-year strategy. And I think, you know, if we are witnessing economic growth, then I think that we need to ensure that that resource is made available to ensure that the plan bears fruit. And, you know, every time there's a debate on the Irish language in this house, somebody gets up and says, you know, somebody has such an amount of proficiency and somebody else doesn't. Let's get away from that. Let's get away from that binary, you know, hackneyed kind of debate. Let's broaden the debate out, and you know, in real terms, let's see how we can get more people speaking Irish. Let's see how we can get more Irish people speaking Irish, and let's encourage people to speak the language more. And I think if we broaden the debate, we should encourage
the use of bilingualism in everyday life. And I think that's a very reasonable proposition. Thank you, Seán Sherlock.